three little pigs. One day the mom came to them and called them together and said, all right, it's time for y'all to leave home. Y'all need to build your own house, start your own family, and I want some grandchildren, okay? So they agreed with that, and the little pigs went out. And the first little pig, she was the youngest pig, and she was somewhat impetuous and a little careless. And she just built her house as quick as she could, and she built it out of straw. It wasn't long after she had moved in till she heard a knock at her door. And the wolf was on the other side. And the big bad wolf, he said, "Rawr!" Little pig, that wolf had a very hot
That's the new generation version.
But the little pig said,
Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin.
very good, nice and strong. And the wolf said,
Little pig, no. Let me
say
puff.
okay, so the wolf did. He huffed and he puffed and he blew the little pig's house down. And that little pig, she ran off and she ran to her sister's house. Now the sister, this is the middle sister. So she's a little more responsible. We all know that the middle child is responsible for everything, right? Everybody. So the little pig ran to her sister's house. Now the sister had built her house out of wood. And so they were there and they were just having a good old time, and then all of a sudden, there's a knock at the door. It's the big bad wolf.
Little pig, let me in. Not by the hair, my chinny chin chin. Then we'll huff and we'll puff and we'll blow your house down.
There you go. Good. Y'all are getting better. Y'all are getting better. Great. And sure enough, he did. He huffed and he puffed and he blew, but the house didn't fall. And so he huffed and he puffed again, and this time the house came tumbling down. So now both little pigs, they run to the older sister. Well, we know she's more responsible because the older child is always more responsible, right? They're wiser, yeah.
Oh yeah, smarter, yeah. Better looking.
And sure enough, she was. She was very wise, and she had taken plenty of time to research and do her homework, and she built her house out of brick. And it was a strong, fine house, and it was a safe house. And they all lived there for quite some time, happily, but that was not to last, because one day,
Little pig, let me in. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. All puff and all puff and we'll blow your house down.
and he did. He huffed and he puffed and he huffed and he puffed, but the house didn't fall. And so he huffed and he puffed some more, and even the doors or windows didn't rattle. This house was just too strong for the wolf. He went away, but he didn't give up, because we know the wolf is a very cunning animal. So he decided he would go ponder and come up with a plan B. He noticed there was a chimney on the house, so he said, "Oh, I'll go back and I'll go down the chimney." Well, of course, the third little pig, as we said, was very wise. And she anticipated that. She did her own planning. And so before the wolf returned, she placed a cauldron in the fireplace, and she lighted a fire, and she put some water in there. And suddenly she heard the creeping of the wolf across the roof. And sure enough, that wolf climbed up the side of the chimney, and he came down that chimney. Well, he got surprised. There was a cauldron of water waiting for him, and as he fell, he jumped out and he ran away. And the three little pigs were safe. And it would be great if we could say that that's the end of the story, but we know the wolf doesn't give up.
No.
He doesn't stop trying, and he always finds another way. If he can't get in one way, he'll try another. And this is why I wanted to share this story with you tonight. Jesus told a similar story, and it's recorded in Luke 6. He writes, everyone who comes to me and hears my words and acts on them, I will show you whom he is like. He is like a man building a house who dug deep and laid a foundation on the rock. And when a flood occurred, the torrent burst against that house and could not shake it, because it had been well built. But the one who has heard and has not acted accordingly is like a man who built a house on the ground without any foundation. And the torrent burst against it, and immediately it collapsed, and the ruin of that house was great. You know, we want to build strong homes for our families. We want to build safe homes.